she didn't call first. That was the first thing that felt wrong. My sister had always announced herself, messages, voice notes, some small warning before appearing anywhere. So when I opened the door and saw her standing there, silent, my brain struggled to catch up. Then I saw her face. Bruises change everything. They erase context. They flatten reality into something immediate and difficult to process. For a moment, neither of us spoke. She stepped inside like a guest unsure of her welcome. I closed the door slowly, movements suddenly cautious, as if noise itself might break something fragile. "I fell," she said. The sentence was automatic, practiced. We had shared a face our entire lives. I knew the difference between embarrassment and fear. This was fear, buried deep, held tight, leaking through despite effort. I didn't argue. Not yet. We sat in the kitchen where the light was soft and unforgiving. Up close, the injuries became harder to categorize as accidents. My chest tightened with a rising heat that felt dangerously close to rage. But rage, I realized, wasn't what she needed first. "What happened?" I asked quietly. The question hovered between us. Her eyes drifted toward the window. Toward anything that wasn't me. When the truth came, it didn't arrive dramatically. No sobbing confession, no cinematic breakdown. Just fragments, halting and uneven. "He gets angry." Pause. "It's not all the time." Longer pause. "I didn't want you to worry." Anger did come then, sharp and electric, but it had nowhere useful to go. There is a particular helplessness in hearing about harm that has already happened. "You need to leave him," I said. Even as the words left my mouth, they felt inadequate, simplistic. She flinched, not at me, but at the idea. "It's not that easy." Of course it wasn't. Nothing ever is. The conversation stretched across hours, looping through the same impossible terrain. Safety versus stability, fear versus attachment, logic versus emotional gravity. Somewhere inside that exhaustion, the idea surfaced. We didn't present it like a plan, more like a thought neither of us pushed away quickly enough. "We could switch," I said. The silence that followed was heavy, complicated. We were identical, always had been. A lifetime of mistaken identities, amused teachers, confused acquaintances. Harmless things. Until now. "That's insane," she whispered. It was, we both knew it. Yet the idea refused to dissolve. Not because it felt clever. Because it felt like the only available disruption. The ethics of it sat uneasily in my mind. Protection blurred into intrusion. Help tangled with recklessness. I wasn't rescuing her. I was stepping into something I didn't fully understand. But fear has its own logic. 2 days later, I walked into her house wearing her clothes, her posture, her practiced expressions. The familiarity was disorienting, like inhabiting a distorted version of my own life. Every object carried tension. Every sound seemed amplified. Her husband greeted me with distracted indifference. No suspicion. No hesitation. That unsettled me more than hostility would have. Living inside someone else's reality is an education in invisible strain. Small details emerged with uncomfortable clarity: the careful placement of objects, the subtle avoidance patterns, the atmosphere of restrained unpredictability. Nothing overt. Everything heavy. He behaved normally at first. Almost charming. Which I understood quickly, was part of the architecture. The instability revealed itself in quieter ways. Tone shifts. Micro-expressions. The peculiar tension of someone accustomed to control, and then came the moment. Not explosive. Not cinematic. Just a conversation that drifted slightly off script. "You're being strange lately," he said one evening. My pulse tightened. "How?" "You don't react the same." A simple observation, yet it carried threat beneath neutrality. Power doesn't always operate through volume. Sometimes it lives in expectation, in the certainty of predictable responses. And I was unpredictable. The air changed subtly, not violence, but proximity to it. That night, sitting alone in the guest room, the full weight of what I had done settled in. This wasn't strategy. This was volatility. Protection suddenly felt indistinguishable from risk. I made the call. My voice remained steady, which surprised me. Clear statements. Measured language. Facts without embellishment. Authority, I learned, enters quietly. There were no sirens, no dramatic spectacle, just procedure unfolding with calm, unmistakable inevitability. Questions asked, spaces assessed, dynamics interrupted, control shifting not through confrontation, but structure. His confidence fractured slowly, confusion replacing certainty as institutional presence dismantled the privacy he had relied upon. My sister arrived later, not rescued, not transformed, just present, shaken, silent, painfully human. The aftermath resisted simplicity, relief intertwined with discomfort, safety entangled with guilt. Intervention rarely delivers clean emotional resolutions. She didn't thank me. Not because she wasn't grateful. Because gratitude was the wrong language for something this complicated. Weeks passed. Therapy sessions, legal processes, long conversations about autonomy, boundaries, consequences. Our relationship changed in ways neither of us fully articulated. Love remained, but something heavier settled beside it, the shared knowledge that even protective loyalty can carry unintended costs. She rebuilt slowly, on her terms. Which in the end was the only part that truly mattered. There was no victory. Only distance from harm, and the quiet, unsettling awareness that doing the right thing rarely feels as certain as stories suggest.